It is about 2 p.m. on Saturday, May 16th. There's Janet in her new slip, new to her slip. I used to be in there. This is at A19, the end of A dock, as you can see. I used to be in A5. I moved out here for several reasons, one of which is that this is the only single slip in the A dock with docks on both sides. The other is that it's much easier to get in and out of than my old slip. The tidal currents here are significant in Skull Creek, and here, as I assume you can see, all I have to do is just back out until I get clear and then go forward. The e-propulsion outboard has a slight hesitation when you shift from forward to reverse or vice versa, and so I don't like to have to do that when I'm maneuvering in close to the docks, because I get sometimes swept around by the currents. Anyway, little boat looks pretty good to my prejudiced eye. I've cleaned the deck, I've sorted out the interior. I didn't shoot a video the last day of the sail in. I was too busy. The wind remained good all night long. It would remain perfect. Perfect for gannet, because there wasn't a lot of wind that last 36 hours where I had what I called sailing joy. But there was enough for gannet. It might not have been sailing joy if you were on a big heavy boat. You probably would have been powering. Looking around, I don't know, you can't really see it, but our home is back there behind the live oaks, about 700 feet in a straight line from here. Although to get there, I have to walk down this dock, down the main dock, out a jetty, or yeah, out a pier rather, and then back up a slight incline, about 6/10 of a mile. They usually put transient boats here on the in tie. This one wasn't there when I left. Was there when I came back. Haven't seen anybody on it, so I don't know. You're looking south down Skull Creek, and a lot of power boats going by fast. One disadvantage of this slip is that you feel the wakes from those power boats much more, which is why I put rubber snubbers on the dock lines on this side to prevent the wild jerks. Who are also the ones, I'm laughing because the wild jerks are the ones driving those boats, as well as pushing gannet around. I slowed down the last night out at sea. I could have gone in after dark, but I would have gotten in and anchored, but I would have gotten in at maybe 3 a.m. or something, and it didn't seem worth doing that. So I didn't get much sleep that night anyway. I only got maybe 2 hours sleep, about an hour at 8 to 9, and then another hour on midnight, and then I was up. Anyway, slowed down, furled the jib first, and then put the main sheet way out, trying to depower the main, and wanted to be off the outermost marker on the channel leading into Port Royal Sound at 0600 first light, and I was. There were probably 5 lights of 5 different shrimp boats moving around out there. There are a lot of things as you approach this coast to run into or to be run into by. Buoys, towers, fishing boats, other boats, ships. Anyway, at 0600 I was surprised to see about a half mile south of me a 50-foot racing trimaran. He had his mainsail, he was heading in too, and he had his mainsail up. He was moving about the same speed as gannet until he lowered his main, turned on his engine, and disappeared ahead of us. The wind remained good all the way into Port Royal Sound, and then it changed. It came up strong out of the south, which is that direction down there. It looks like Skull Creek ends down there. Well, but what happens is that about 2 miles down, you make a turn to starboard for about a quarter mile, and then you go under the bridge, only bridge under the island, which is over there, and on the other side of the bridge, you're still in the intercoastal, but that's called Calabogie Sound. Over there, the opposite side of Skull Creek is Pinckney Island, which is a national wildlife refuge. There's no development over there, and there never will be. It's very nice. Once in the Sound, about 2 miles in, I furled the jib. I had headed out and was sailing in under main and jib to try to slow down, and then put the main sheet out a long way to try to slow down so I could fit the outboard. But I couldn't. We were still going too fast. So I lowered the main, got the outboard on, it started, it was fine. I neglected to say that last night when I got in, and the water here is shallow a long way out, when I went to turn on the depth sounder, it didn't work. Usually that's been caused by a loose wire. I jiggled them around, but it still didn't work. Didn't matter, I could see my depths on the iSailor charts, and I know these waters by now. I've been here on and off for 8 years. So I got the outboard on, but then the wind started gusting right on the nose, about 18 knots. So I was too far out to power all the way. The Evo has a limited range. So I beat to the outermost green marker at the mouth of Skull Creek, under jib alone, gunnel down. And there I finally furled the jib, put the Evo in gear, and came this way slowly. I had the current, the tide with me coming in, which was good. If I'd had the tide against me, tide and the wind against me, I'm not sure I could have gotten in. I might have had to have anchored out there and waited for a change. The mouth of Skull Creek is about 1.8 nautical miles over there. You come around, you make a long, slow curve around a sandbar, and then you head in. As you can see, this was the first time I had come into the slip from Skull Creek. I'd only come in here when I moved from A5. You have a straight shot in, and then you just have to make a slight turn. It all went very well, and we docked at about 1100 hours. It's a nice day here, as you can see. 80 Fahrenheit, about 27 centigrade. Almost a trade winds kind of sky, those clouds up there, but we aren't in trade winds here. I was very tired. I hadn't had any. I was hungry too. I had a protein bar. That was all I had. I didn't have my oatmeal that morning. Hadn't had much sleep. I have since bought a new Velocitech. Already have it. So found them on sale, so I decided to just get another one. The bracket's already on the mast. It just has to be snapped in. The wind instruments which were not working. That's a problem. Raymarine no longer makes that wireless system, and I've changed the battery in it and it still doesn't work. I haven't tried to sort out the depth sounder yet. I've done other work on the boat, but I haven't even tried to do that yet. Well, that's the end of the Ending in Joy sail. I had a good time. Glad to have done it. I want to thank all of you who have watched these videos. I don't claim to be a good videographer. I claim to be a good writer. You may not even agree with that. But I appreciate your watching, and I thank you, and I appreciate those people who have taken the time to make comments. I see all the comments. I don't write replies to all of them unless a specific question is asked. Anyway, it's good for an old sailor to know that some people find what he does is of interest and maybe even of value. I wish you well from the marsh.